A day on the focus. Hello, listeners, and welcome back to your daily dose of history. Today's date is February 4th, and boy, do we have a jam-packed historical buffet for you. First up, let's travel back to 211 AD. Drama in ancient Rome. Emperor Septimius Severus kicks the bucket in York, England, of all places, leaving his empire to his two feuding sons, Caracalla and Geta. Talk about a family inheritance gone wrong. I bet their therapy bills were astronomical even back then. Then, fast forward to 960 AD. 4. Zhao Kuangyin, a man who clearly didn't mess around, declares himself Emperor Taizu of Song, ending the later Zhao dynasty and starting the Song dynasty. Efficient, I'd say. No time for tea and crumpets. This guy's got an empire to run. The 12th century brought a bit of a tremor, or rather, a huge earthquake. In 1169, Sicily's Ionian coast got a serious shakeup. Tens of thousands were hurt or killed. Catania was particularly hard hit. I imagine the pizza ovens had a field day afterwards, though maybe not in the way they'd have liked. We leaped ahead to 1789, a year that echoes even today. George Washington, unanimously elected as the first president of the United States. Unanimous, can you imagine? Nowadays, that's about as likely as finding a unicorn riding a unicycle. And speaking of unlikely events, how about 1703, when nearly all the 47 ronin in Edo, modern-day Tokyo, performed seppuku, ritual suicide, for vengeance. Talk about dedication to duty, or maybe just a really dramatic way to get out of a bad debt situation. We've got earthquakes galore today, haven't we? 1797 saw a whopper hit Ecuador, killing up to 40,000. And 1976, another earthquake devastated Guatemala and Honduras, killing over 22,000. Maybe we need a historical earthquake early warning system. Just saying. Oh, and let's not forget the births. On this day, we celebrate the arrival of people like Mikołaj Rej, a Polish poet and author in 1505, Pierre de Marivaux, a French playwright in 1688, and Emperor Norton, the eccentric and visionary self-proclaimed Emperor of America in 1818. I can just imagine the emperor's reaction to the 1789 election of George Washington. A true historical showdown between two very different emperors. This February 4th has seen its share of wars. The Philippine-American War starting in 1899, and the Angolan War of Independence kicking off in 1961. And let's not forget the Yalta Conference in 1945, with those heavyweight players Churchill, Roosevelt, and Stalin deciding the fate of the world. High-stakes poker indeed. And speaking of high stakes, creative story segment. Imagine this Emperor Norton, decked out in his full imperial regalia, is transported through time, landing smack dab in the middle of the Yalta Conference. Churchill, Roosevelt, and Stalin stare, dumbfounded, as this slightly unhinged but undeniably charismatic individual declares himself emperor of the whole darn shebang. Stalin, ever the pragmatist, considers it an excellent opportunity for propaganda. Roosevelt, tired from a long day of negotiating, offers Norton a mint julep. Churchill, captivated by the sheer absurdity of it all, bursts into laughter. The fate of the world hangs in the balance, balanced precariously on the eccentric whims of an emperor who declares that everyone should have free bread and that the Yalta Conference should definitely include more tea. The scene ends with an awkward but surprisingly productive meeting, where everyone agrees that the free bread initiative has serious potential. That's all the time we have for today, folks. Remember to check back tomorrow for another fascinating trip through time here on A Day on the Focus.